Jai Mahamaya ki Jai, Bole Baba ki Jai. In our last discourse, we heard about the king Satyabhrata going to heaven in his body, and Harischandra starts the story. Vedavyasa said, this is chapter 15, O king, when there was going on in the king's palace the grand festivities for the son's birth ceremonies, Varuna Deva came there in the holy Brahmin form. Let welfare be to you. Saying this, Varuna began to say, O king, know me to be Varuna. Now hear what I say. O king, your son is now born. Therefore perform sacrifice in honor to me with your son, O king. Your defect of not having a son is now removed, so fulfill what you promised before. Hearing these words, the king began to think, oh, only one lotus-faced son is born to me. How can I kill it? On the other hand, the powerful regent, Lokpala, of 1/4 is present in a Brahmana form, and it never behooves one to show disrespect to a deva or to a man who wishes welfare to us. Again, it is very difficult to root out the affection for his son. So what am I to do now? How shall I preserve my happiness due to the birth of my son? The king then, with patience, bowed down to him and worshipped Varuna duly, and humbly spoke to him in beautiful words, pregnant with reason. O Deva, the Devas, I will obey your order, no doubt, and I will perform your sacrifice according to the Vedic rites and with profuse dakshina. But when in a sacrifice, human beings are immolated as victims, both the husband and wife are entitled to the ceremony. Father becomes purified on the 10th day, and mother on the expiration of 1 month after the son's birth. So how can I perform the sacrifice until 1 month expires? You are omniscient and the master of all the beings, and you know what is Nitya Dharma. So Varuna Deva, I want 1 month time, and show mercy thus on me. The king Harischandra saying thus, Varuna Deva spoke to the king, O king, welfare be unto you. Do your duties. I am now going back to my place, O king. I will come after 1 month. Better finish the natal ceremonies and all the regulatory ceremonies, and then perform my sacrifice. O king, when Varuna Deva turned his back, the king began to feel happiness. Then the king gave as gifts millions of cows and gold and mountains of till to the Brahmins versed in the Vedas, and kept his name with formal ceremonies as Rohitasva. When 1 month became complete, Varuna Deva came again as a Brahmin and said, O king, start the sacrifice just now. The king, on seeing the god of the waters, at once fell into an ocean of anxieties and sorrows. He then bowed down, worshipping him as a guest, spoke to him with folded palms. O Deva, it is to my great fortune that you have landed your feet at my place, O Lord. My house has just been sanctified today, O Deva. No doubt your desired sacrifice according to the rites and the ceremonies will be done. But see, the victims that have not their teeth come as yet are not fit for sacrifice. So the verse pundits say, so I've settled I would perform your great sacrifice as desired by you when the teeth will come out of my son. Hearing this, Varuna spoke, let it be so, and went away. When the teeth of the child came out, Varuna came back and came in the Brahmin garb once again and spoke, O king, now commence my sacrifice. Seeing the Brahmin Varuna there, the king, too, bowed down and gave him a seat, and showing all respects to him, worshipped him. He sang praises to him and very humbly said with his head bent low, O Deva, I will perform your desired sacrifice with plenty of dakshina according to rites and ceremonies. But the child's ceremony of Kudaksarana is not yet done yet. So the hairs that were there at the birth time are still there, and the child cannot be fit for sacrifice as long as those hairs exist. So I have heard from the elderly persons, O Lord of waters, you know the Sattvic rules kindly wait until this ceremony of shaving the head is over. When the child will have his head shaven, I will certainly perform your sacrifice. There is no doubt in this." Hearing these words, Varuna spoke to him again. "O king, why are you deceiving me like this so often? O king, now you have all the materials ready for the sacrifice. Only for your filial affection you are deceiving me. However, if after the ceremony of the shaving of the head you do not perform my sacrifice, I will be angry and I will curse you. O king, I'm going for the present, but see, do not tell lies, born in the family of Isvaku." Instantly, Varuna disappeared. The king, too, felt happy in his household. When the ceremony of the shaving of the head was commenced and grand festivals were held on that occasion, Varuna soon came again. The queen was then sitting before the king with the child in her lap when Varuna came up there. The Brahmin Varuna then appeared like a flaming fire and spoke to the king in a clear voice. "O king, start the sacrifice." Seeing him, the king was confused with terror and with folded palms quickly bowed down. After worshiping him duly, he humbly said, "O Lord, today I will perform your sacrifice. But kindly hear with attention my saying and then do what is advisable, O Lord. If you approve it as reasonable, I then open my heart to you. The three Varnas, Brahmins, Ksatras, and Vaishyas, become twice born only when they are duly purified according to the proper rules and ceremonies. Without such purifications, they are certainly not those classes. So the pundits versed in the Vedas declare, my child is now an infant only, so he is like a lower class. When his thread ceremony will be performed, then he will be fit for sacrifice. This is the Veda Sastra declare. The Satras are so purified in their 11th year, the Brahmanas in their 8th year, and the Vaishyas in their 12th year. So, O Lord of the Devas, if you feel pity for your humble servant, then wait till the sacred thread ceremony is over. Then I will perform your grand sacrifice with my son. O Bibhu, you are the Lokpala, especially you are conversant with all the Sastric rules and have acquired the knowledge of Dharma. If you think me saying as true, then go to your home. Hearing these words, Varuna's heart was filled with pity, and so he went away instantly, saying, let it be so. Varuna going away, the king felt very glad, and the queen, knowing the welfare of the son, became glad too. Then the king gladly performed his state duties. After some time, the child grew 10 years old. Consulting the peaceful Brahmins as well as his ministers, he collected materials for the sacred thread ceremony befitting his position. When the 11th year was completed by his son, the king arranged everything for the thread ceremony. But when his thoughts turned to Varuna's sacrifice, he became very sad and anxious. When the thread ceremony began to be performed, the Brahmin Varuna came there. Seeing him, the king instantly bowed down, and standing before him with clasped palms, gladly spoke to him, O Deva, my son's thread ceremony is now over. My son is fit for the victim of the sacrifice, and by your grace, my sorrow this was within me of not having a son has vanished. I speak truly before you that, O knower of virtue, after some more time, I have desired to perform your sacrifice with plenty of dakshina. In fact, when the Samarvartan ceremony will be over, I will do as you like. Kindly wait till then. Varuna said, O intelligent one, you are very much attached to your son now, and so by various reasonable plays of intellect you are repeatedly deceiving me. However, I'm going home today at your request, but know certain that I will come again at the end of the Samavartan ceremony, which means the return home, especially of a pupil from his tutor's house after finishing his course of study there. O king, thus saying, Varuna went away, and the king became glad and began to perform duly his various duties. The prince was very intelligent and he used to see Varuna coming now and then at the first of the ceremonies. He became very anxious. He then made inquiries outside, hither and thither, and came to know of his own being about to be killed, and he desired to quit that house. He then consulted with the minister's sons, came to a final decision, and went out of the city to the forest. When the son had gone to the forest, the king became very afflicted with sorrow and sent messengers in quest of him. When some time passed, Varuna came to his house and spoke to the distressed king, "O king, now perform your desired sacrifice." The king bowed down to him and said, "O Devi, what shall I do now? My son has become afraid and has gone away. I do not know where he has gone, O Devi. My messengers have searched for him in difficult places, in mountains, in hermitages of the Munis, in fact, in all the places, but they have not been able to find him out anywhere. My son has left his home. Order now what I can do, O Devi. You know everything, so judge. I have got no fault in this matter. It is certainly bad luck and nothing else." Hearing these words of the king, Varuna became very much angry, and when he saw that he was deceived so many times by the king, he then cursed him, saying, "O king, you have cheated me by your deceitful words, so you'll be attacked by dropsy and be severely pained by it." Thus cursed by Varuna, the king was attacked with the disease and began to suffer much. Cursing thus, Varuna went back to his own place, and the king, much afflicted with his terrible disease. Here ends the 15th chapter in the 7th book of the story of the king Harischandra in the Mahapuranam Srimad Devi Bhagavatam of 18,000 verses by Veda Vyasa. Jai Mahamaya ki, Jai Bole Baba ki, Jai.